What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the Brown Gent. In this video, we're going to talk about Hydro Finance, a protocol on Injective that we've covered before in the past. I'm going to talk about their most recent Launchpad and how you can use this as a massive opportunity to increase your wealth. But remember, nothing I say here is financial advice. I'm just a guy on YouTube. So, just remember that. And if you want extra coaching, guidance, and support, we do have the private group still open. It's cheaper on Patreon. I know people love to sign up on YouTube, but hey, it's $5 cheaper and you still get the same level of coaching, guidance, and support. Now, Hydro Protocol is very similar to sort of what I showed you just now with Mito Finance. It's much of another LSD protocol. This one is on Injective. And we saw some pretty good news came out after ETH Denver. So the Hydra team came back and said, hey, you know what? We're motivated. We're going to double the airdrop that we've allocated. Go figure, because I have chosen to fade their early access farming that they had live for a month. But what is very interesting is it's not just that, it's sort of everything that they were going to do. So in season 1 of their airdrops, which we've already covered before, these HDRO, which is their token, these drops would basically be available for those who helped in the Hydro protocol's development and Injective stability, right? So there's really two things here. It's who supported them in their testnet and who is staking Injective. That's basically it. So if you were part of their HydroNet testnet campaigns, you will get an allocation. Everybody gets an equal allocation regardless of how much work you did. And if you did all 4 of them, then you get, the full allocation, because it's done evenly. In this case, what that tells you is if you had farmed this on a ton of wallets, you probably made some decent money. The second thing here is really around staking. Now, I know staking is a very sensitive topic, and as you guys know, I no longer stake Injective. It's currently unbonding on my Keplers as we speak. However, this snapshot was taken in early January 4th. And it sort of doesn't matter sort of like how much you had, you still get a minimum no matter what you had. But they have 5 different tiers. So for example, they are going to group the number of people who staked Injective by tiering. And at the time, I believe Injective was still around like $35 to $40. So I had, I think, almost $2,000 staked at this time. It will be interesting to see how that turns out for tiers. It's probably still bottom or second bottom tier. But beyond that, we also heard about their early access farming program. So this is what, when they launched their mainnet, they said for a month, they were going to allow people who sort of got in there, got INJ, locked their tokens up. They get some extra rewards. Now, season 2 is coming for those who continue to farm, continue to stake, but we really care about season 1, and you already know exactly what's going on. Now, what's really important for you to know is the airdrop claim page is coming soon. I did look, for example, that airdrop claim page to see how much HDRO tokens I would get. It doesn't show that, but I implore you all to go to this website and check it out. Now, the one thing I will tell you guys is Launchpads are probably one of the best ways that you can make money on a project, and it's pretty much guaranteed. I did this with Dojo Swap. I did this with a ton of other protocols in the last cycle. A lot of times I made 4 to 5 to 10x my money, and I'm going to talk to you a bit about how that happens and why you want to take this into consideration. One of the things, and by the way, for @1, I know you're asking a question about Matic. We're here to talk about Hydro Finance. I will cover this in the AMA. Please ask that question, and please wait for those sort of forums to ask, because I don't want to distract from this topic. So Hydro Finance, just like anything, it could be literally any token. You can replace HDRO with whatever, right? What you want to know is, number 1, is this a protocol that allows people to oversubscribe? What oversubscribe means is, even though this protocol is having a target of 104,000 Injective tokens they want to sell, are they able to allow people to allocate more? And in this case, they are. In this case, you see here already now, they're at 170,000 tokens. In fact, They reached their goal in 10 minutes. In the first 10 minutes, they hit the 104,000 injective mark. Now, if you're interested in subscribing, you click on this button and you'll see here that you can subscribe between 10 to 100. Okay. So, you can go in here. I can go and, by the way, stake injective on the injective hub and then go do this. I don't know why it's saying that, because I still have my injective technically staked. It's being unbound. Maybe I just cancel it and sort of do this. It's fine, because that'll also work. But what you want to keep in mind is we're not in a rush. What we're trying to do is we're going to wait for this timer to run down. 6 days and 18 hours. What you guys need to think about, and I mentioned this last time with Hydro Finance, ask yourself, what is the advantages of doing this now versus later? In fact, there are no advantages to doing it early. All you're doing by buying it early is getting more information to people behind you, because once you're getting in, from what I understand, you can't unsubscribe. So once you've done it, you literally can't take the money out. And what they will do is basically at the end of the sort of process, they will look and say, okay, well, did we hit our target? In this case, they already have. Then what they will do is stratify. So let's say this is at 200%, right? Let's say the current was at 200% to target. That means if you subscribe 500 injective, only half of your injective will be used. The other half will be refunded to you. And sort of that amount that was used by you is what's going to be used to buy the token. Well, given all that, what you can do is sit back, watch, relax, come back here in 6 days. Hey, how much has this been oversubscribed by? And if you find out that it's oversubscribed by like 300, 400, 500%, you know the demand for the token is significant. And what you can do then is put the money you want to subscribe in there. In fact, whenever this happens, I tend to put as much as I can, whatever liquidity I have available. In this case, you have to have a certain amount staked too. And then you literally get the token and you literally dump it into the momentum, right? So while the momentum is hot, right? If you imagine 8 times as many people want to buy the token and got it, well, clearly the price is going to skyrocket. Maybe it won't go up 8x, but you will see it rise significantly in the hours following its launch. So that is the strategy that I love to employ, because when you do these strategies, you can maximize your money. Like, I love airdrops, but I'm also one who tries to trade on momentum. It's the exact same thing we see with NFTs. When I see an NFT and it mints out like this, what that tells me is I could literally ride the momentum up and 10x, 20x sometimes your NFT's value. And you want to do it soon, because eventually the air sort of comes out of the balloon and the price starts reversing. We saw this happen with Yacht Finance. I showed you guys. I minted it for like 50 or 60 say. I sold it for 1,000 say. It went to 1,400 say, in fact, and now it's like 300 or 400 say. So these are the things you have to be wary about. Remember, there's going to be a ton of Hydro token that's coming to the market. In fact, this is why I will always monitor this, and I will always, on launchpads that allow you to oversubscribe, just bide your time, wait. There is no advantage to doing it right now. Maybe you want to consider getting your money ready if that's not ready yet, and just, hey, take a look and go, hey, at a certain point, it becomes worthwhile for me. Maybe that's 200% for you. Maybe that's 500% for you. I feel bad for the people who literally got in for the first few minutes and were like, hey, because then you never win, right? If you're one of the first people in and you put in like 100 injective and like the protocol doesn't really get anywhere or barely limps across to get to that point, you already know you're barely going to break even when this launches. You're basically going to get a tiny bit, and maybe you locked up your liquidity for 7 days where it could have been on anywhere else, like Mito Finance earning you those dollars. So this is why I recommend always patience is key. I think a lot of us will have earned a bunch of Hydro token from injective staking earlier and all of that. But hey, this is a nice bonus. It's a great way to make some extra cash. Just got to be strategic. And remember, nothing I say here is financial advice, but this is a strategy that I will be employing. So that's pretty much what I wanted to cover in this video, guys. If you haven't already, hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the AMA. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next